This is an example of what we call park and grab. Only have to walk a few steps once I get out. This is a lamp post. There's the lamp way up there, and of course has a concrete base and a little surround here on the bottom called a skirt, and it's liftable. And let's see what's underneath. A magnetic key holder. Let me get that out. All right, so we'll take a look inside. This one's easy to slide open one-handed. There's the log, and I was the last person to find it. There's my initials for Dreamer of Pictures and the date on which I found it. So let's put that back in. Those things, though they're very small, can often have coins or other small things as trade items. Here we are on a bicycling trail that's close to an interstate highway. You can hear the cars. It's also got a historical graveyard. Not only is this American Revolutionary War soldier here, but also two people who died of lightning strikes. Now, you can also see the guardrail by the bicycling path. They want to make sure bicycles don't fall down the steep hillside here. But it turns out there's also a geocache in this guardrail. Let's go take a look, see if we can find it. Now, you'll notice these support posts here are wood. Sometimes they're metal instead. And often a geocache is hidden in the gap between the post and the metal. And here is one of them. Let's see if I can pull it out. I'm going to set the phone down and just push it out here. There we go. This is a fairly typical hide. Sometimes they're magnetic and they're placed in the end of a guardrail. We'll open up the geocache and you can see plastic bag with a log in it and actually a pen and a pencil as well. And it looks like there's another piece of paper in there and a couple of kids' toys. Okay, we'll pack that back up and rehide it. All right, here's another typical hideout for geocaches. This is, these are rather two large power transformers for the local businesses in this part of Falls Church. I last found this geocache in 2013, and it's changed a bit. Originally, it was I believe, a magnetic key holder on the back of this transformer. What I found today was this little birdhouse that's kind of wrecked, and that made me wonder, was the geocache in there? And then I found this down here on the ground. There's the pieces of the little birdhouse and a pill bottle with some camouflage tape on it, and that's almost a dead certainty when you see the camouflage tape that it's geocache. So let's open it up. Now this is going to be a little tricky. I'm going to have to prop up the camera and then use two hands. All right. There we go. Let's see here. Paper log right on top. There it is. And more paper log. It's one of the things that cache owners should do occasionally when there's multiple pieces of paper. Come take the old ones out. There's also some trade goods and a trackable. This is a type of trackable called a path tag. And I don't know, like, yeah, you can sort of see it through the cellophane. Let's put that back in. A little plastic ring. We'll put that back in. And collect all the logs. And the coins, there were 2 quarters. We'll put those back in. There we go. Stuff in all of the logs Here's another one on pink paper, and this sticker. So this one's big enough to have some trade goods in it. All right, in the center of the frame you can see a stump. A few years ago I found a geocache in that stump, and it's since been relocated over in this direction. And I'm pretty sure it's here at this triple trunk tree. It's a nano cache, and it's a little bit unusual to hide a nano cache, particularly a magnetic nano where there's no magnets. What I see down here is a piece of wood that resembles the wood where I found it initially, and let's get that out, and sure enough, there it is. A little magnetic nano has been embedded in the end of the piece of wood. So we would unscrew it and pull out the tiny log strip that fits inside. This thing is about 3/8 of an inch in diameter and 3/8 of an inch tall, with a screw cap, and usually the paper inside is a 1/4 inch wide strip. This is sidewalk on the edge of a retailer in Arlington County, and the hint for this cache says it's electric. So we've got a lot of electric panel boxes here, utility boxes for one purpose or another. And I think when I first found it, which was a few years ago, it was actually underneath. So I looked underneath all of these and I didn't find it. But if you walk around and take a look, here on the street side, there is a utility panel kind of cover for an electric socket that really has no business being there. And it turns out it's magnetic, and underneath it is a log strip. There's the log strip, and somebody's left something, I think another path tag, yeah. And this cache owner actually pinned the bag under one of the magnets. So it's real easy to get the geocache out, because the resealable part of the bag is at the other end. And then put it back in and get the plate back in place, just like that. Okay, well, this next one we're looking for is not quite a park and grab. You have to walk a ways from the nearest parking. I'm just about up there now. You have to know what to look for on this one, and I'm about to show you what I mean. These posts for these chain link fences are hollow, and you'll notice this one here doesn't have a cap on it. And in fact, there's a tiny little bit of fishing line. You can just see it glinting there. Yeah, it's a slightly better angle. I'm going to pull on that. This fishing line is actually tethered to a vine, of all things. And what did we find at the end of the fishing line? Down in that hollow post, there is a geocache. And this is a fairly large bison tube. It's camo painted, which means it was probably done commercially, that paint job. Okay, I got the cap off. This one has a plastic bag containing the log. There's the log. I signed this one a year or so ago. I'm going to put it back in the tube. There's nothing else in the tube as it happens. Okay, and no evidence of water seepage into the tube. You know, there's even a pencil in there. I just realized that. Inside the bag, there's a wooden pencil for signing the log. So I probably can reattach this with one hand. Let's find out. Put the lid back on the container. Yeah, and you can see a black line there between. That's called an O-ring. It's rubber, and it can be compressed, and when you tighten it enough and it's compressed, it keeps the water out. That's a good thing to have. Okay, here we are in another county park where I live, and we're going to look at another typical type of hiding place. This little path that you see here is not part of the official mapped pathways, hiking trails within this park. However, this is what park managers often call a social trail, meaning it was created simply by people walking the same path over and over. And indeed, in geocaching parlance, this is known as a geotrail because it gets us very close to the cache. All right, here's a stump, and when you see objects piled up in something that looks like might have been done by human beings and not by nature, there might be something underneath it. Let's take a look. Yes, sir, there it is. Let's pull that one out. Take a look at it. Okay, this is a type of container where the lid has locking, or, well, actually in this case it's the body has locking tabs. And the lid is actually hinged. This is a variant of a type called Lock and Lock. Might even be a brand name. And you can see the sticker that the cache owner placed on top. So this is actually a fishing type box. It has a cut down mini composition book for a log. Has some trade goods in it too. Has a pen. It's in good shape. No water within. Pleasant surprise after the kinds of hurricane-like rains we've had lately. Actually, not hurricane-like, but it did set some records, and we have the remnants of a Hurricane Fred, now Tropical Storm Fred, that skirted by us on the way to New England yesterday. Oh, I'm now in Fairfax, Virginia, very close to the corner of Little River Turnpike and the Beltway, which is Interstate 495. This is a recreation area with a part of a very long path hiking trail in Fairfax County called the Cross County Connector. And we're going to walk a little bit of it. It's nicely paved here, useful for bicyclists. And I'm not going to show you the whole thing. I'm about a quarter mile from the cache, a little over 1,500 feet. Okay. The hint for this says it's on the backside of a fallen tree, which is supported by the Y of a much younger tree. And you can actually see up there the stump, tall stump of the fallen tree, and it fell through a much younger tree which still supports it. The term backside is a little ambiguous, and it's been several years since I was here, and I think I've found it. Let's take a look here. There it is, under a little bit of a geopile. You can just see the ammo box, and it's still here after all these years. I'm going to pause this for a moment so I can get it out, and then we'll take a look at its contents. Okay, it's open. The log is in, that's an interesting title for a log book. Log's in a package right there. Here's some trade goods.